x equals 0.436 reoccurring. Prove algebraically that x can be written as 24 over 55. So the first thing we want to do is rewrite this number but to more decimal places. So this means that x is equal to 0.43636 and so on. Now this is because the dots are above the 3 and the 6, so we'll repeat the 3 and the 6 infinitely. Now in order to prove algebraically that x can be written as this fraction here, we want to find two coefficients of x which have identical numbers after the decimal place, so that we can minus these two numbers from each other. So in order to do this, we can multiply both sides of this equation by 10. So 10x is equal to 4.363636 and so on. Now as we can see, we haven't got two numbers which are identical after this decimal point, so we're going to continue multiplying these by 10. So 100x is equal to 43.636363 and so on. And again, we don't have two numbers which we can minus from each other, so again we'll multiply this number by 10. So 1000x is equal to 436.363636 and so on. Now what we can see is 10x and 1000x both have 0.3636 and so on after the decimal point. Now we get our first mark for writing one of these values. And as we can see, we've now got two numbers which we can minus from each other, which is this 1000x here and the 10x up here, as they both end in 0.3636 and so on. So what we can write is 1000x minus 10x is equal to 436.36 reoccurring minus 4.36 reoccurring. Now this will give us a whole number, meaning we can rewrite it as a fraction. And we'll get our second mark for identifying two numbers which we can minus from each other to give a whole number. So the next thing we'll want to do is we'll want to simplify this down. So 1000x minus 10x gives us 990x. And then 436.36 reoccurring minus 4.36 reoccurring will give us 432. Because this 0.36 will cancel out. Next we'll want to rearrange this equation to make x a subject, so we can divide both sides by 990, and this tells us that x is equal to 432 divided by 990. So the final thing we need to do to prove that x can be written as 24 over 55 is show that this fraction can be rewritten as 24 over 55. So 432 over 990, well if we divide both the top and the bottom by 2, this gives us 216 over 495. Now what we can do is divide both the top and bottom by 9, which gives us 24 over 55. So we can therefore write that x is equal to 24 over 55. And we'll get our final mark for writing this.